So Clashmore Kinsalebeg is the latest stop in the Pride of the Parish series, highlighting how clubs have helped their communities through COVID-19. And delighted to be joined on the line by Clashmore Kinsalebeg chairman Declan Hickey. And Declan, is the club field starting to return to normality over the past few weeks?
No, Tomas. Yeah, it is. It's great to see it now. We've from under 4-year-olds up to some 40-year-olds still trying to relive their youth playing. So we've a great age gap back now, and everyone in between. There's not a year missed on between the 4 and the 40-year-olds. So it's great to see the activity back. All the teams are back now. Some are back 3 times a week, and some are back 2 times, and whatever. And matches are starting now, so there's a real sense of normality coming back around the place.
Yeah, good to hear that the 40-year-olds are still going strong, Declan. That's needed in every club. But I was just looking at the social media, your Twitter and your Facebook page, and the Little Red and Greens nursery seems to be going very strong for the younger members of the club. Can you tell us what that's all about?
Yeah, we actually done it last summer when legislation or restrictions allowed, and it was a kind of a pilot as part of the Waterford County Board Strategic Development Plan. And they piloted the nursery kind of, so it's open from 4-year-olds to 7-year-olds, and it's on Saturday mornings, and they're broken into the different ages, and we've 4 stations, and we've the coaches, then different coaches at each station, and they move around the 4 stations, and takes about an hour, and we're doing it again this year now, and it's really good success. I think last week we were over 40 kids there, which is a lot. It's a really good take up of the of that population, percentage of that population. We're getting great numbers out of it, and they get sweets after, which is the most important thing to a lot of them. So they keep coming back. And it's good for the parents as well to get them into the GA field and everything. And it's a social outlet for everyone. So it's a rip-roaring success. Thrilled with it. There's Brian O'Halloran, Timmy and Barry Dunner kind of main men behind it, but we've a great amount of we say the adult players coaching. We have 8 or 10 different coaches every Saturday morning. So it's really good for the club.
And are they all hoping to become the next Tide de Borca, Declan?
Well, certainly most of the boys are hoping to be the next Tide de Borca anyway, and hopefully there'll be a few of them, the ladies aiming to be the next Neve Rocket, So it's good, and we mix the camogie and the football in the nursery, so they've 2 camogie stations and or 2 camogie and hurling and 2 football stations, so it works very well. So yeah, it's great to have a fella like Tiger around the club as well, and Brian before him at the inter-county, and even Brian Lynch now on the football team, and the lads before him, and Sam Fitz on the under-20. It's great for the young lads to have someone to look up to and see, and they're all good lads, they set a very good example around the place, so it's very good for that,
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be hoping to have Tig back on board once the club season gets back underway later in the year, Declan.
Well, sure, you're always hoping, but the medical science will tell us that, But look, to be fair to Tig, he's a great attitude to the recovery, and he's doing away his own thing. And as soon as he's ready, we'll be ready for him. But we wouldn't dream of asking him to come back a day sooner than he's ready. So whenever that time is, it'll be great to have him back, and we'd be delighted to have him. But until that time comes, I suppose he's not part of the plans,
Yeah, a great ambassador for Clashmore Kinsalebeg. Tide de Borca, of course, won his second All-Star last winter for the Waterford Hurlers. Just bringing it back to the club front, Declan, rewinding back to March 2020 when COVID-19 shut down all GA activity. How did the club help out the local community during that period?
I suppose the first thing, the community council had organised the community call kind of thing in the parish. There was a very good community council there. So we assisted that in whatever way, and there was fellas doing the meat deliveries and the collections from chemists and whatever we needed. It was all, it was done, and I suppose to be fair to the people in the community, they were great to rally around the people. And from a GA point of view, I suppose we were conscious the 2020 lockdown was slightly different to the 2021 insofar as you'd no sport of any description. It was all replays and that kind of thing. So we kind of looked at it with a lot of old videos of matches and things like that. So we kind of done a reliving series where we got three or four of the main players on the team, and Johnny Flavin kind of hosted. We put together a little highlights program and interviewed the 3 or 4 players. We done the Western or the county junior hurling victory in 2000, and we done the Western intermediate hurling final there a couple of years ago, and we done the 1982 county final, which the lads unfortunately lost. But it was, and we kind of just left them out there on Sunday night. It was great to be able to give, I suppose, not a focus to the week, but you know what I mean. It was something to look forward to. People, they were great days to be looking back on, So that worked very well. And then I suppose we were kind of conscious as well of the charity element that the charities were suffering last year at that particular time. So we done a walk for all in aid of Marymount and Waterford Hospice, because I suppose cancer affects everyone in so many ways, and we felt that they were down. So we just done that. A virtual walk around the parish has worked out very well. Made 7.5 grand, and then as I say, we started Little Red and Greens, and Brian O'Halloran and Barry organised challenges on the online for the kids, just to keep the hurley and football in their hands, and just gave out little prizes for that kind of stuff. So that was probably, and when the restrictions lifted, we kind of went in and started doing, as matches came along, we just broadcast them on YouTube, and in fairness to Rua there, he done a great job in he done a good couple of them first, and they were top class production. It was great to be able to give the fans that couldn't be at the matches live action from it, So I suppose we didn't do any more or any less than anyone else. We done what we felt was doable, and just kind of stay in and keep the spirits up a bit,
Yeah, sounds like a very busy time for the club, Declan, even though there wasn't any activity on the field. And I saw there over the bank holiday weekend that you held a fundraiser for the Irish Cancer Society as well. How did that go?
An outstanding success. We kind of jointly done that now with Lulu Lums, which is Louise Flavin. She'd suffered from cancer there lately, and so we done a kind of a joint thing with her in aid of Irish Cancer Society, and it worked out outstanding. It's still coming in, but I think it's over 10 grand for the Irish Cancer Society. And as I say, Louise is married to Johnny Flavin, who's a big part of our club, as you'd know, and she was doing a great work in promoting the awareness of checking yourself and all that. So we partnered up with her, and there was a great committee there of lads that really contributed to it and made an outstanding success of it, So that was on last Sunday, and at the start of the year, then we had done with the community council, we just done a spring into action walking series around the parish for January in the 2021 lockdown, just to keep people, I suppose, a small bit active, So that was really, I suppose, what we done or what we were involved in with the community,
Yeah, and speaking of the community, Declan, like everybody must be in shock after the tragic death of 3-month-old Mio O'Connell on Bank Holiday Monday. What was the club's reaction to the news?
Actually, look, Tomas, is just shock is the only way to describe it. I suppose we'd extend our sympathies to the families. It's something that I don't think any family should have to go through, but it's tragic. It's shocking, and as I say, all in the club extend on our sympathies. There's very little, unfortunately, we can do to ease their pain. It's shocking pain that they're going through, and as I say, all we can do is lend any assistance we can and offer our sympathies. But it's unbearable. It's unbearable to think what the family are going through.
Yeah, very well said, Declan. Yeah, I think everybody feels the same. A very difficult time, and I'm sure the club will do everything in their power to help out the family. I'm sure the community will rally around as well. Just a final question for you, Declan. We have inter-county activity back. We'll have club activity coming back towards the end of the year. You have Clashmore in the intermediate hurling and the senior football as well. What are your targets now for 2021?
Be the best we can be and see where that takes us in both. Like we'd always aim to go out to win every game that you're playing, and where that takes you, unfortunately, it doesn't happen too many years that you win every game you play. In fact, it never happens. But all you can do, look, I don't think we set out specific targets because the bottom line is, if you're setting out targets, you're being disrespectful to the team that you're playing in the first round or the second round or whatever it is. So I think take every game as it comes and see where that takes us and be as well prepared as we can. We're not doing anything different to any other club in the county or the country. We're just going out to give a good account of ourselves and please God win every day. I know that won't happen, but that's what we'll be pushing.
Declan Hickey, Chairman of Clashmore Kinsalebeg, thanks so much for taking our call today.
No problem at all. Thanks.
2:25, 2:23. Kilkenny go long, Killian goes long, Tadhg de Burke is there. Whose ball? Who gets the breaking ball? In it comes is the Clashmore man. He's on his bike there, the man with the cruciate, running like a thoroughbred horse, and he's a thoroughbred hurler. Lovely ball, Tadhg de Burke.
Tadhg de Burke, that is fantastic.
Billy O'Halloran will be organising a statue for him.
Thanks so much for tuning in. Waterford versus Tipperary will be our George Corbett Skoda big match on Sunday. Join Kieran O'Connor and Dan Shanahan for live coverage from Welsh Park at 1:30. And I will have updates from Waterford versus Antrim in the football from Farfield. Until next time, slán go fóill.
Lorna Porca with Tomás McCarthy on WLR.